In hot weather, your pet can get into trouble much faster than you might think. They won't say, "I'm feeling bad." They'll just start breathing harder, looking for shade, slowing down, lying on a cool floor, or looking at you as if they're asking for help. Heat stroke in pets is not just being too hot. It's a dangerous condition where the body can no longer cope with overheating. And if you don't act in time, the consequences can be very serious.
Hi friends, this is Giraffe, and today we're talking about something no pet owner should ignore in summer. Hot weather, burning pavement, stuffy apartments, cars, and walks at the wrong time of day can all be dangerous for pets. And the scary part is that animals don't always show us how bad they feel. Today, together with Pani Lama, we'll go through how to recognize heat stroke, what to do in the first few minutes, and when you absolutely should not wait.
If you can see that your pet is truly unwell, if they're breathing heavily, getting weak, collapsing, losing coordination, vomiting, having seizures, their tongue is turning blue, or they can't stand properly, you need to get to a veterinarian urgently.
That's a really important point. Sometimes people think they'll just lie down, drink some water, and be fine. But with heat stroke, waiting can be dangerous. If your pet's condition looks serious, it's always better to be safe and contact a vet or go to a clinic. In a situation like this, acting quickly can save a life. Pani Lama, let's explain why pets can overheat so quickly in the first place.
Pets don't cool down the same way people do. Humans can sweat through most of the body, but dogs and cats have much more limited ways to release heat. Dogs mainly cool themselves by panting, using their tongue and airways. They can also lose a small amount of heat through their paw pads. With cats, overheating can be harder to notice. They may not run around, whine, or panic. A cat may simply hide, lie in a cool spot, and become unusually quiet or weak. That's why overheating can be easy to miss.
And it's also important to remember that heat isn't only dangerous outside. A home can become too hot too, especially if the apartment gets direct sun, the windows are closed, there's no air conditioning, or the room has poor ventilation. So yes, a pet can overheat even without going for a walk. This is especially true for older pets, sick pets, and animals that are already in a higher risk group.
So let's talk about those risk groups, because some animals need extra care in hot weather. Giraffe, should we start with flat-faced breeds?
Absolutely. Flat-faced breeds are one of the most vulnerable groups. This includes pugs, bulldogs, Pekingese, boxers, and, among cats, Persians and other breeds with shorter, flatter faces. These animals have a harder time cooling themselves through breathing. So a day that feels simply hot for one pet can become genuinely dangerous for them. But they're not the only ones at risk.
Older animals, puppies and kittens, overweight pets, pets with thick coats, dark-colored fur, heart conditions, breathing problems, or lung disease also need extra care in the heat. And we shouldn't forget small animals either. Rabbits, guinea pigs, chinchillas, hamsters, rats, and ferrets can also overheat quickly, especially if their cage is in direct sunlight or the room is stuffy. If an animal is struggling to breathe even in the shade, overheating can happen very fast.
So heat stroke is not just a dog on a walk problem. It can happen to a cat inside an apartment, a rabbit in a cage, or an older pet lying in a hot, poorly ventilated room. That's why, in summer, you need to pay attention not only to the temperature outside, but also to your pet's behavior. Pani Lama, let's go through the warning signs. What should people watch for first?
In dogs, Warning signs can include heavy or very fast breathing, an open mouth, excessive drooling, a bright red tongue or gums, weakness, an unsteady walk, restlessness, vomiting, diarrhea, confusion, collapsing, or seizures. In cats, the signs can be more subtle. A cat may hide, lie on a cool floor, refuse food, become very weak, breathe heavily, or start breathing with an open mouth. And an open mouth in a cat during hot weather is not cute dog behavior. It's a warning sign.
And you don't need to wait until every symptom appears. If you see several warning signs, especially weakness, poor coordination, heavy breathing, or behavior that feels unusual, it's time to act. It's much better to help early than to realize too late that your pet is overheating.
Exactly. So now let's talk about first aid. If you suspect overheating, the first thing to do is get your pet out of the heat. Move them into the shade, into a cooler room, near a fan, or into an air-conditioned space. Just don't aim a strong blast of air directly at their face. Second, start cooling them down. Use cool water, not freezing water. You can gently wet the neck, chest, belly, groin area, armpits, and paws. Third, offer small amounts of water. Don't force your pet to drink, especially if they're weak, lying down, confused, or having trouble swallowing.
And fourth, contact a veterinarian. Even if your pet seems better after cooling down, that doesn't always mean the danger is completely over. Heat stroke can cause complications that aren't obvious right away. So if the symptoms are serious, a vet visit is not optional. And now let's talk about what not to do, because when people panic, they often grab the first thing they can think of.
Do not give human fever medicine or painkillers unless a veterinarian tells you to. Do not use questionable home remedies. Do not force your pet to drink. Do not leave them alone to sleep it off. Do not wrap them tightly in wet towels in a way that traps heat instead of letting it escape. And don't suddenly put a weak or severely overheated pet into ice-cold water. Cooling should be safe and controlled.
Cooling products should also be chosen carefully. You can use a cooling mat, cooling vest, cooling wrap, or other safe accessories if they fit your pet properly and are made from suitable materials. But avoid products with a strong chemical smell, irritating treatments, questionable ingredients, or big claims like cures heat stroke. These items may help with prevention, but they do not replace water, shade, a cool environment, and veterinary care.
Exactly. It's not the name on the package that protects your pet. It's the owner's actions. Giraffe, let's move on to prevention. What should people absolutely avoid in hot weather?
First, don't walk your pet during the hottest part of the day, especially around 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Early morning or evening is much safer. Second, never leave your pet in a car. Not for 2 minutes. Not with the window slightly open. A car can heat up extremely fast, and for an animal, it can become a deadly trap. Third, don't make your pet run, train, play hard, or walk for a long time in direct sun. And fourth, pay attention to the pavement. If it's too hot for your hand, it's too hot for your pet's paws.
Here's what you should do instead. Walk early in the morning or later in the evening. Bring water with you. Choose shade, grass, and a calm pace. At home, make sure your pet has access to fresh water, ventilation, a cool place to rest, and shade. If your pet likes it, you can use a safe cooling mat or place a damp towel underneath them, but always make sure they can move away if they become uncomfortable. For animals living in cages, this is especially important. The cage should never be placed in direct sunlight. The room should have airflow, shade, and a cooler area the animal can move to.
And let's talk about cats for a moment. Many people think, my cat stays indoors, so everything is fine. But that's not always true. If the home is hot and stuffy, a cat can overheat even without going outside. This is especially risky for older cats, overweight cats, cats with breathing problems, and flat-faced breeds. If your cat is breathing heavily, opening their mouth, hiding, refusing food, lying flat, or looking weak, take it seriously.
The first steps are the same. Move them somewhere cooler, improve ventilation, offer small amounts of water, and gently cool the paws, neck, belly, and groin area. If your cat's condition doesn't improve, or if they look truly unwell, go to a veterinarian urgently.
So let's lock in the main idea. Heat stroke is not just a hot day. It's a dangerous condition that can develop quickly. The sooner you notice the signs and start helping, the better the chance of avoiding serious consequences. But if your pet is weak, collapsing, breathing heavily, vomiting, having seizures, their tongue is turning blue, or they simply look seriously unwell, don't wait. Go to a vet.
Your pet won't say, "I need help," but they will show it through their behavior. Watch closely, avoid dangerous heat, never leave animals in cars, and always think about water, shade, and a cool place to rest. Pan Giraffe, what should we say before we go?
If this video was helpful, give it a like, subscribe to Pan Giraffe, and send this episode to someone who has a pet. The more people know how to act in hot weather, the more animals we can help keep safe. Sometimes, a caring owner's quick reaction really can save a life.
Take care of your furry, fluffy, and long-eared friends. See you in the next episode on Pan Giraffe.